Hi. I'm going to mention two phenomena. One is called quantum immortality. There was, a few months ago, there was a trending what do you call them? Trending things on TikTok. It was a trending thing. And there's a name for it. A trending trend? I don't know. And DNA upgrades, there was more of a 90s thing where people were announcing that humanity is going to get this DNA upgrade. And all of this connects into 0 point. Why? Because as I'm explaining, the 0 point is you outside space-time reality construct, so you're formless. So you're looking at the screen of reality in which this reality is constructed. So how can you be mortal? Now also, if you have an avatar in the screen, but you're choosing the reality from outside of time-space immersion, then you can always quantum shift the timeline, nudge that space-time reality construct into your little avatar is surviving. So there's no chance of you dying. Now, we used to die a lot because we were mastering the form, and still you could create a soul contract or a choice where you die physically, meaning your soul never really dies. You will just like elevate out of your physical body, literally like the little dude in a cartoon dies and then little ghost goes out. So, dying. Now, today the topic of DNA upgrade is not that important. So it's not like a fancy thing that you need to go to the mall and like get this new outfit. Because already the Earth has activated these DNAs, and now there are like different waves of ascension. So these are called like first wavers, second wavers, whatnot. Meaning that you need to unload your operating system, some like survival instincts, all of this needs to be integrated, then you upgrade to that next level. Well, if you are immortal, you don't need survival instincts, but you need to go through this phase of like protecting your form in every possible way before you ascend from the physical into energetic, and then in the bandwidth or level of pure consciousness, that is the 0 point, where you're controlling the whole reality bubble around yourself. Now you're a sovereign god, or like Buddha or something like that. So you don't get hurt, because only by permission, only by soul contracting, something can enter your field. Now, still you can enter into a brawl by permission. You can go into a martial arts tournament or a pub and have a brawl. But you will know that you're fighting yourself because you already ascended to this level of consciousness where you see everybody else as yourself. So then that's a like, hi, let's have a brawl. And thank you, because it was just a simulation. Before, in duality brawls, they have much more tension. Now you can fight in all of the realms consensually, but it's play fighting. Okay, it's like playing a video game with other immortals. But when you don't know that, and you're in the physical, that's before of the DNA upgrades. So still, when you get the DNA upgrades, and now everybody gets them, and to me, it looked like literally I'm a video game character, all of my pixels just went upgraded. And that happened several times since my incarnation into the baby. So I was actually observing the DNA upgrades. Then I realized many of the people, they just are already born. So the younger generation, they're already born with next generation DNA installed, because this is just an operating system that is running your human experience. So people are getting born with this new version of DNA, whatever, like new car, you know. And other people just got the DNA upgrade while they were sleeping, so they never even got informed about it. So what I witnessed is some people that are accessing the 0 point and they're completely integrated and located in this emptiness, and they can disappear and become like invisible or become the emptiness. They have all the perks. Well, these are not perks. These are actually like, these are default on this level or in this playground, in this realm. But when we're in a lower realm, you know, it's like survival and then get killed or survive or whatnot. Now, when you realize you can't die, now you're realizing the collective, the planetary collective, is kind of split between these two realms. And some people that I have seen and like I hang around with my friends, and they're still convinced that they're aging, that they can die, that they're taking the paradigm, linguistically, mentally, the story from the lower realm, interpreting that as if it was true for them, but they're already on the quantum immortality realm. So in the quantum immortality realm, this is what I did. I put myself into harm's way, like, gonna get dead, and the higher self just reconstructs the timeline, and like nobody can hit me. If I jump from a building, like I show up again in the room, so it's like 1-up, like Super Mario 1-up. You just like died and here again in a split second. So these quantum jumps showed me that, because I thought, and I was like getting frustrated with this like old interpretation of the 3D realm. Let's call it 3D and 5D realm. And in the 3D realm, I was still, all the souls around me were interpreting this 3D storyline. And we couldn't, it was so much cognitive dissonance in my way of ascension with everybody else. All the souls from my family, they were still in this other realm, but we were coinciding in the same space. Different frequency, but we cannot talk because they don't understand what I'm saying. They think I'm on acid. But my understanding was not updated. So I thought, you know what? I thought, in a linear fashion, I graduated this 3D realm, so I'm gonna like go out of my body. I don't need this physical body anymore. And I got a light body. I can already move between realms. So I just jumped out of the window. I'm just like, I have to fucking end this. I don't die. I'll just like, go up. It was already did this in meditation, but it takes time and patience. I was like, I'm just gonna go out. And treating this like a video game, which was bad interpretation by this linguistic mind or the ego that I still use to explain things. And then my other side, which is like my higher self, you know, from here where you like, you have a little bubble and you're like operating timeless, you don't have to move this like little guy out of the danger. And so whenever I go into danger, I'm like removed. And then I saw, okay, TikTok, people call this quantum immortality, and they explain how they have been dying and then just like 1-up. They didn't die. So it's a thing because it's a planetary shift, and then nobody understands what the freak is happening. When I got used to this, I was like, okay, so I am in the 0 point outside of time. The time-space construct is inside of my awareness. Then I was like, okay, at all times I'm actually having a remote control. So if something goes on that I don't like and I get annoyed by that, I just press skip on my remote, imaginary remote of course, but it works like that, and reality shifts. So quantum shift, quantum jump moves you to that next preferred reality channel. Now I will go into how this realm is constructed, because you have so many multiple constructs and dimensions coinciding in the same plane that you're thinking we're all in one plane, one reality, but it's actually infinite realities overlapping. And then when you know how to shift your channels, shift your frequency, you can shift those. For example, people had massive timeline set, pandemic, and it's corona, and then it's lockdown. And I'm coming into a restaurant, and the waiter say it's going to be lockdown, and we're going to close the restaurant, everything's going to be shut down. So I say, okay, remotely switch this into an open restaurant, and then just the waiter shifts, and the waiters comes, and they serve the food, and the restaurant is open, and they're keeping the restaurant open, and I'm in this timeline where the restaurant is open. Some people are there. Many people are in this timeline where they're programming their mind by the programming from the media, and they're projecting the reality where there is a lockdown. But to my surprise, I'm finding a friend who's very well activated. Like you can see like all of these energies and the emptiness coincide. So I can see people, I say, okay, I see that they're just kids or people, their DNA is activated, but they're not nerds about how reality works. So they just subscribe into whatever somebody else. And sometimes I do also subscribe into other people's or co-created timelines. So that's fine too. But I was just practicing that I don't die. And so if I can shift into timeline where I don't die, I can shift into timeline where I have money effortlessly, or restaurant is open, or whatever the fuck I want. Because the movie you're creating, you're projecting this movie. Entertainment. And you are the infinite dreamer, the one universal I am. So only by your subscription, only by your own limiting belief, something is not granted to you. Or you're actually manifesting that reality, that construct, that universe, where you interpret something is lacking. So I'm seeing my friend 3 weeks later in front of the same restaurant that remained open, and he said, what did you do during the lockdown? Because the restaurant where we hang out daily was closed. I'm like, the restaurant was open. He's like, the restaurant was closed. I was walking down the street every single day. I was sitting in the restaurant every single day, but like, obviously you're creating your own reality based on whatever presumption you're entertaining. So no argument there. It's different timelines. And that's just in this realm. You know, it's the same street, same restaurant. We were in Ubud, Bali, same street, same restaurant, two different timelines. And there are even more of that one institution. Now, each person, each individual that is sitting in that restaurant when it's open could have their own VR headset, their own space, and their own cognition. So there could be a reality per person. And probably there is. But then we accept something that's standardized, like physical objects, tables, chairs, something being there, but there could be a band playing and you're hearing different music than me, and we're sitting in the same table, in the same room, you're hearing different music. Or you're coming to the same restaurant, it's closed, and I'm coming to the same restaurant. We're overlapping in time, but for you it's closed, for me it's open, whatnot. So people have upgraded DNA, they came into this new playground, new realm. They're habitually thinking in terms of the same old rules of linear logic and 3D linguistic interpretation, which does not work in 5D. I mean, it works if you project that. 5D gives you that experience. You say, I'm so lonely, I'm so lonely, I'm so lonely, I don't have any friends, and you will stay lonely without any friends. Say, I'm so jolly, all people are my friends, and just like instantly shapeshifts into that reality. So your relationship is to your screen. And then in your screen, even I appear or somebody else appears as a multidimensional soul that they are, as a reflection of you, meaning that two people could be looking at me, you or somebody else, your friend, they're looking at me, and to one of you I appear as my highest self. I'm all like sexy, like, you know, my skin is like shiny and like oily and like I'm just like so beautiful. And then to your friend, I'm looking like a distorted demon from like Ninja Turtles or something. And because my soul contract is to co-create with you and co-play with you, I don't even have control of that. Because I might be having a soul contract on the low to appear as a demon. To trigger your awakening or something, whatever, right? And then I'm just going like casually to the restaurant and I'm just like doing my thing. And some people think, oh, he's so hot. And other people, he's so ugly and scary. And you're just seeing facets because my soul is giving you the mirror, the reflection. Architecture of reality. There you go.